Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be ranking the characters from my new favorite reality TV show, Indian Matchmaking. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a super quick intro to the show. I'm also inserting a timestamp right here if you want to just skip this introduction about what the show is about if you've seen it already. For those of you who haven't seen this amazing, impeccable show,
talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same.
It's basically just taking us on this journey of a matchmaker and how she tries to set up her clients who live both in India and the US with each other. I have to give Netflix that much. It is pretty much the most real reality show I've seen recently. In my opinion, it shouldn't have been edited as a fun, quirky dating TV show with all its like funny background music and zoom-ins and stuff like that. It should have been edited as a sad documentary because honestly that's kind of what it really is. It just had so much toxicity that I just kind of laughed hysterically because that's all I could do. Super big spoiler alert, but I did a quick Google search after I was done watching the TV show and I realized that none of the couples were still together. So, I mean, listen, this is really not a good advertisement for any of those people for later on in their life, except for one or two of my favorites, which we'll get into while ranking them. All in all, I'm not really sure how I feel about the show, but I have a feeling Netflix was kind of just releasing a bunch of BS shows during quarantine because they knew that people would just consume it. You give us any garbage TV show these days and we'll spend a weekend watching it because we don't have anything better to do. I have to say it's probably my least favorite out of all their recent reality TV shows. So let's start with someone I have very mixed feelings about. Pradyuman. Okay. So about this guy, he just keeps flip-flopping between what he wants. Everybody in this show consistently, regardless of if they're one of the boys, one of the girls, or their parents, they want someone with a great personality, and then the personality always means fair, slim, and tall. So it's pretty shitty, but yeah, I think I'd rather die instead of getting with this guy, for sure. Just like the way he talks about people, he's someone that makes it seem as if he wants something more than just good looks, but then at the end of the day, that's all he's going for, and it becomes pretty transparent by the time they show who he ends up with. Okay, I'm gonna put her in here because I feel like you know what? Maybe I'll move her to, I wouldn't mind if my mom chose them. Because, to be fair, I feel like she just knew that she's good looking and she was just trying to find a boy based off of that. But I don't think that's the worst thing if you're just trying to go off of the strengths that you possess. In her case, it was her looks. So I guess she was just trying to find somebody using that for the most part, or at least that's what the show showed to us. Let's all try to be as reasonable as we can towards them because, to be fair, these shows go through a lot of editing, so they may not even know at the time like what's being projected out to the world of them. So I'm gonna give her a pass. For now, I'm gonna leave her in this rank. Okay, let's now look into someone that I really liked throughout the show, and I think most people did. Oh my god, this guy's so genuine. He is way too pure for all of us. Vyasar was amazing throughout the show. I feel like he showed so much vulnerability. He's so close with his family. He cooks for everybody. Extreme dad material, really good with the kids and everything. But for some reason, I don't understand why he ended up single at the end of the show. Like, I don't get it. But let's take a look at the girl who did end up with him. Why can't I remember her name? Oh yes, her name's Rashi. I would swipe right for her. I think she's a cool girl. She was pretty nice to him. Just didn't put her in the they're too pure for us because I feel like maybe we just didn't get to see enough of her on the show. But she was really nice. Just FYI though, I haven't included everybody that was on the show because some of them were just not shown enough. So I mean, listen, you're not gonna make it to this list if you were shown for like 5 minutes, especially all of those boys that Aparna dated. We're not gonna be going through them. We'll need a whole video just to talk about her whole episode. Another one of them that I thought was a really sweet person while watching the show was Nadia. I'm gonna put her in I would swipe right. I would put her in They're Too Pure for Us. While I was doing my research for this video and gathering all the images to make the tier list, I was looking for the guy who ghosted on her. And it seems there's some miscommunication, some tea that might be there about how he didn't actually ghost her and she may have ghosted him. So because of all that conjecture, I'm gonna leave her in I would swipe right because she still seems like a really sweet girl. But I just wouldn't move her to legend level yet. Okay, so the guy that she ended up with on the show Shaker was really nice. I don't know why I didn't get a picture of him. I have to tell you guys though that for a lot of these people I had to re-watch the show because no images would show up in Google Image, and you already know how freaking sad that is for me. Imagine re-watching this. I needed to wash my eyes with bleach after that. So I didn't have a chance to get Shaker's image, but I would put him I would swipe right too. I'm starting to realize I like most of these people, which is very scary because as I was watching the TV show, I was very like, hate most of them, so I don't know. Okay. Let's get into someone that I don't like as much now. This lady, I don't know if anybody remembers her. Her name was Geeta. She was the matchmaker that was given to Ankita, and she was basically like, oh yeah, so women just need to compromise in order to get married, and women need to just change their jobs and their location in order to get married. And I was just like, no, I mean, I don't know a lot about love, but I don't think it needs to be that tough. I don't know. She really missed the mark on being a matchmaker. I'd be surprised if anybody wanted to go to her after the show came out. Like, if somebody's like, okay, yeah, here, take my love life and I'm gonna put it in this lady's hands. I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't end very well for a lot of those people. But yeah, hate her. I would rather die than getting married to her or for her to find someone for me. Ugh, the thought just irks me. Okay. Let's do Vinay. Oh, the guy that Nadia ended up with, or should have ended up with, but ghosted on her. I wouldn't mind if my mom chose them. Honestly, there's just too much conjecture on the whole matter, and after the show and doing a little bit of Googling made me realize that the show really was edited to show certain people in a good way and certain people in a bad way. For instance, this little turd here was shown as a cool, calm, reasonable guy with reasonable expectations, but someone like Aparna, who had pretty much similar expectations as him, was shown as someone who is unreasonable or super negative and gives out negative vibes. Like, I doubt it. I feel like the women in this show disliked other women for speaking up for what they actually wanted, which is just a sad look. Okay, let's get into our queen here, Miss Aparna. You know what? She's going to go in I wouldn't mind if my mom chose them for me. Okay, hear me out. She was, okay, slightly rude in the way that she was giving her expectations out to the matchmaker. But, bro, if I had lived up until 34 and I was still single, I think I would have a pretty decent list of expectations too. And I'd be like, I don't have a lot of time to waste, so just find me someone or I'm out. And I also have to give her credit for the amount of growth that she showed through this reality TV show. It's funny, like, you wouldn't think any of these people would actually grow as human beings, but she genuinely did. And I feel like she just took things after that as they came and made the most out of every situation. So I like her, okay? I wouldn't mind if my mom chose someone like that. Let's now do Ankita. Yes, okay. She was my absolute favorite on the show. She is way too pure for the show. She shouldn't even be on that show. She shouldn't even be single and on the market. She should have already found someone who's freaking amazing and who's gonna treat her really well because she deserves it. I said what I said. She's amazing. How can someone be an educated business owner and still be even meeting all these like sad people that the matchmaker set her up with? Just, it's beyond me. It's beyond me that she was asked to compromise. Oh my god, okay. So I'm getting a little riled up, but the part that ticked me off the most was when the matchmaker takes her profile to someone else. I think it's to this lady right here who I dislike. And I think she mentioned something about how, oh, she's sweet and she's educated, but she's unphotogenic just because she's like slightly on the darker skin tone side. Makes you like wonder and then not wonder why India has such a huge market for those fair and lovely type brands. It's just sad. Like, we can't even get into this right now because we would need a whole other video for this. But this show is truly sad in terms of how they just objectified women to objects that are either fair or dark. And the equivalent of being fair or dark was just good looking and not good looking. Beyond me. Do not like it. Do not subscribe to that BS. Okay. Let's do some of the quick side characters now. Like the girl that Akshay ended up with in the end. I can't even remember her name. Oh, Radhika. I would go for it if I was 40 and single. Again, I feel like we put so much blame on the guy for being like, oh, she shouldn't work after I get married to her and stuff like that. But I feel like she wasn't fully being honest also of her expectations of a partner and what exactly she'd need in order to be happy in that relationship or in that marriage. Let's do someone I like on the show. His name was Jay. That's swipe right. Wouldn't mind if... No, I'm gonna leave him here for now. I feel like this is a fair representation of how I feel about the characters on the show. He is so nice. I don't know why Aparna and him didn't end up together. I hope that they eventually end up talking. I think he seemed like a very calm, good gentleman with her. And so did the Shaker guy, actually, the guy who liked being a lawyer. I wish I had included him in here. I'm sorry if he's watching, which he for sure isn't. Nobody's watching this past the introduction except for my mom and my sister. So let's do another smaller character on the show. I'm sorry that I keep calling all of them characters. I know it's a reality TV show, okay? These are real people. Sorry. I'm so sorry to them for just bringing them down to just, oh yeah, they're just characters in a TV show. They're not. They're all real people. And they all probably are pretty good people. Again, I think this is the third time I'm saying this, but I do recognize that these TV shows are edited to make them out a certain way. And I swear if it wasn't quarantine time, I wouldn't be making a video on them. I'm just bored enough and have the time to do this now. Anyway, let's get to Rupam. Okay, I actually liked her. I would put her in She's Too Pure for Us. Or would I put her in I Would Swipe Right? No, I'm gonna leave her here. Because she seemed so nice. And it seemed as though at the end of the show, she mentions that she found someone off the show. I'm happy for you, girl. Like, I'm so glad you didn't end up going with whatever turd the matchmaker was gonna pick for you because you were pretty good by yourself. I'm not gonna rank some of these people's family members and their friends and stuff like that because they were barely given any screen time. Like, her dad seemed like an eyed person. I'm not gonna comment on him. I don't really care. Okay, let's get to my favorite on the show, Mr. Akshay. I'd rather freaking die than being with this person. If him and I were the last people on earth and it was our responsibility to populate the earth, I'd kill myself. Yeah, thanks but no thanks. This guy just wants to basically marry his mom. It's beyond me why anybody would want to end up with him. So initially I wasn't blaming him for how he was because I just sort of understand just being Indian by myself. Like, a lot of boys that are raised in India are just treated like the babies of the family. They're not expected to do a lot by themselves. A lot of people do things for them, so I didn't blame him too much for it. But then when I found out that he was coming back from Boston after his master's degree, like, he was old enough, he had seen enough other countries, he had met enough people, he had been given enough opportunities to broaden his horizons, and then he's like that? There's no excuse for that, my guy. None whatsoever. It's a miracle that she even went for him. I think it's just the money. But I don't know. I don't want to just slate her as a gold digger because there's obviously a lot of familial pressures that go into such arrangements. But goddamn, man, how did he even manage to reject like 20 girls? His mom was saying that's gotta be BS, no? Like, why would so many people even want to go for someone like that? Let's do his mom too. Yeah, definitely not. Would I go for her if I was 40? No. Okay, she's the perfect example of a parent that gaslights their child into just doing whatever she wants. Not a fan of hers, honestly. It was so funny to me that she was waiting for her older son to have kids only after the younger son got married. Why are you trying to control what goes on in their lives even after they're married? Like, I don't get it. Oh my god. You're already 25. It's high time that you get married. and then an episode later you see her going like, oh, he's still a baby. So what is he, lady? What is he exactly? Is he ready for a marriage or not? She seems like the kind of person who would definitely control her son's marriage and then ruin that for him too, which is just great, fine and dandy. To her benefit though, I guess I do understand the concern that she had that her son would end up alone, because he does seem like a pretty big piece of dirt. But I don't know. Even then, I feel like it would be more beneficial to you to talk to your son about his expectations out of marriage, instead of being like, yeah, let's try to meet these ridiculous expectations for him. And last but not the least, let's do my favorite. I would definitely swipe right on Seema. No, I would not. Fuck that shit. I'd rather die. It's true. I wouldn't want to be set up by her. Let's talk good things about her first, though. She does seem like she cares about her clients, okay? I'm not gonna come here and tell you guys that she doesn't look like she cares about her clients. I think she does a decent job in trying to match the criteria that they have. But she just shows a slight tinge of misogyny, which I'm not a fan of, because how can you be a woman and have so much internalized misogyny? Only reason why I dislike her. Would I be interested in her if I was 40 and single? No, man, no, it's not worth it. I'd rather be alone. No, fuck that. No. Okay, final thoughts on the show and just on the process of arranged marriage in general. Is arranged marriage bad? No. Would I go for it? No. The show itself, is it a terrible show? No, it's not. It's fine. It's just that it could be a lot better. In general, I feel like the show and the process of matchmaking could be beneficial to a lot of people, because at the end of the day, marriages do involve not just the people but their families too. However, it would just improve a lot more if you took enough of an input from both sides. Maybe on the TV show that part was edited out, but I low-key doubt it, because how is it that any progressive woman on the show is essentially just treated as being unreasonable or asking for too much? And they all seem like girls who were making pretty fair points and fair expectations for what they were looking for in someone. Mixed feelings on the show. I'd give it like a 5.5 out of 10. Oh, something that I loved about the show. All the old people that they showed at the beginning of the show, they all seemed extremely happily married, and they were definitely the highlight of the show for me. It's just really sad that they were there for about 30 seconds at the beginning of every episode, but they were amazing. That's like life goals. That's what you want for yourself. And whether you get it one way or the other, it doesn't matter. Just aim to be better people, you know, and care for others a little bit more, and hopefully good partners will come your way. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And while you're giving it a thumbs up, please be sure to subscribe if you want to see more from me. If you have any questions about the show, if you want me to do another video just reacting to it or discussing it, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any questions about the process, let me know, because I actually know people who've been through the process successfully and are loving their lives. So maybe if you want to take a look at any positive perspectives of the whole matchmaking process, definitely comment down below and let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. Bye!